Hello again, and welcome back to Right Man in the Wrong Place. My name is Luke Tatum. I react to music. I am so glad that you are here, choosing to spend some of your valuable time with me. Today is Friday. It is the day after Christmas, and so that is December the 26th. If you can think about time better than me and understand what the heck is going on. Yeah, December the 26th. So I hope everyone had a Merry Christmas. I hope you were able to spend some wonderful time with your loved ones. And I am back. I'm ready to spend some time with you, my dear friends. So we're going to do a drawing from all of the unpaid requests on the channel. Anyone can make any number of requests at any time. Currently 74 requests in the hopper. And we are going to spin this wheel and we're going to find out what today's reaction is. I don't know until I click. Then I'll get everything ready and we'll do it. So if you want to leave a suggestion for another song, go do that. If you want to make sure I get to it, drop me a donation over on Buy Me a Coffee. All right, let's go. All right. Mili. Mili is like all over this channel these days. This is Mili from the game Limbus Company, and I guess the song is called Hero. So give me just a moment. I'll get it set up and let's go. Okay, I have everything set up, and oh my gosh, I did not even realize because, these requests come in all the time, and I don't necessarily like look for trends or anything in there. So this has been requested 4 different times, and that's pretty awesome. I think that's the only song that's ever been requested by 4 different people on the channel. So this is Hero by Mili from the game Limbus Company, and everyone had their own little comments and things. So this was requested by Amewa, BurntTrash, SumiYokai, and a 4th person who said, just say hi to the Limbus Company fans. So all of y'all, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm really excited to hear this now because obviously it means a lot to the Limbus Company and Mili community. So yeah, it says it's a boss theme and a cutscene. It plays in the final fight of, in my opinion, one of the greatest chapters of Limbus Company, according to one of the 4 commenters. I kind of amalgamated the 4 comments. This release, November 1st of 2024. One of the comments was very, very specific about that. And yeah, hopefully there's lyrics in the video. I don't know if there will be, but we'll find out. And y'all, I'm really excited. Let's do this. Yeah, let's go. 1, 2, oh. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh. Oh man, okay, a lot to unpack. First of all, this does not sound like boss music. Okay. Not really at all. Even like boss music that like, oh my gosh, Xenoblade Chronicles 2, there's like Giga Rosa and all this stuff. Like there's really silly moments that happen in games sometimes, really silly fights. This doesn't even sound like a silly fight music. It just doesn't sound like boss music at all. I mean, I'm not saying y'all are not telling the truth. I know it's, I'm sure that's what it is. It's just hilarious in a certain sense. The second thing, the art for this one, really compelling, really interesting. You kind of have like a whole story around this person. I don't know if this is the boss that you fight or what, but you kind of have a knight and a child riding on a horse, and then the knight falls and the, horse dies or something. The child has to pick up and, get the sword and, gets longer hair. It's kind of weird. But, goes on to become the new knight and ride off to battle, and that so kind of a cyclical like knight and squire type of thing going on there, perhaps. Really interesting. And then I haven't even talked about the lyrics or the song itself. So, we're swaying on horseback. I was just so overwhelmed by how much was going on. The birdies sing, experience I never had. Happy to just be part of your story. So it sounds like a squire to me, right? The happy adventure begins. I can't wait to spend time with this person that I idolize and learn from them. That kind of a story is what I'm hearing. And it's pretty cool. But yeah, it just sounds like music box, sing-songy, happy child music right now. But if I know Mili at all, then I know that there's probably some twists and turns ahead. So we'll see.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. We're swaying on horseback. The hills are green and the birdies sing and roses are pink. Experience I never had. I'm so happy to just be part of your story. After you I follow. The road you show me broaden my horizon.
Okay, so it's already starting to evolve a little bit here. The bass comes in and it's got this kind of a like more somber tone to it. It's still got the same little, high-pitched childlike voice kind of stuff going on, but it's like the mid-range tones are just a little darker. And I have not heard this before. I'm just like observing what has been shown to me on the screen and trying to discern from that and the song combined. I feel like I've seen this kind of like star eye thing or cross eye thing going in another Mili song, another one of these Limbus Company songs. So I don't know exactly what's up with that, but obviously stars are a big deal for this character. Kind of interesting.
Follow the road you show me, broaden my horizon. Forever my hero.
Yeah.
Forever my hero. I am your biggest fan. I am your biggest fan. Merry go round in a circle. I run.
Running in a circle.
Much fun, leaving me a baby behind. 1, 2, 3, 4. I fell down the horseback.
Okay, I kind of thought this is where it might happen. It's sort of like devolving. It's sort of becoming a darker tale as we go on. So this is a loss of innocence story, that sort of thing. And she hasn't sung this yet, but with my crippled legs. That's interesting. So this character with the red hair, is that the knight or is that the squire? Okay.
Baby behind.
And there's even an acknowledgement here. We're leaving reality behind. It's a dream.
Down the horseback with my crippled legs, and then it starts to rain. Sure, it's all fake. Drops wash down the facade. Hills are painted. Birdies are robotic. Roses are made of blood. Excitement that I feel. Return them to the shelf, 'cause now I understand. Heroes cannot be real. Heroes cannot be real. I wasn't who I am. I don't know who I am.
Okay, yeah, a lot to say there. So, it's kind of like if you're in the United States, you probably are familiar with like the standard, child rug thing that sort of has, a little road for you to play with your little cars. And it's like a little town. It's a cutesy little town. And there's a hospital and there's a police station and a fire department. And you can play with your little cars and go around. And so it's kind of that sort of thing here. It's, oh, wouldn't it be so fun to go help the townspeople and save the day and be a hero? I want to do that. And so it's a make believe game, right? It's easy to do this with anything. I want to go, you know, uh, right, anything, right? I want to go play music. I want to go paint guitars for people. I want to go, you know, run my own custom car, you know, work shop. I'm in my own body shop. I want to, you know, whatever the thing is. I want to be a professional game streamer, you know, whatever. Anything that you have in your mind as this sort of dream adventure, this unreal version in your mind. That's not what you actually do when you have that job. If you start a business to do that thing, you don't get to just have fun 100% of the time, right? You have to market and do accounting and, you know, deal with personnel and stuff like that. There's a lot of things that are not fun about business ownership. And I know I have a business. And you know, it keeps you up at night and stresses you out. And, you know, but it doesn't have to be the world of business, right? It could be anything. If you want to be a professional fighter, like do cage matches or something. Well, great. It's cool when you win. It's not so cool when you lose and it takes you months to recover from a major injury and, you know, things like that. Dealing with potentially rigged fights and, you know, whatever. The thing is, there's a lot of downsides that it's easy to overlook as an immature, naive individual. And then it goes into this. Now I understand heroes cannot be real, right? And they tell you don't meet your heroes, right? Because if you meet your heroes, they will become humanized and you won't be able to idealize them anymore. Oh yeah, you know what? They're kind of a jerk to wait staff at restaurants. They're not perfect. You know, it's a disappointing reality. But you know, it's not that heroes cannot be real, right? A hero, someone who has achieved things that you would like to achieve, it's okay to take the good and notice the bad and choose to be better, right? Kind of going through a little bit of that with some people in, let's just say, a political sphere that I keep up with. Um, you know, it's like, okay, well, that's really disappointing that that person isn't everything that I hoped they would be. They've stumbled and they've done things that they shouldn't have done. But I could, you know, I could be better. I could carry the good forward and leave the bad behind, right? That's how society progresses. We move forward from what was done in the past, right? We build on the ideas, but we hopefully have better behavior, right? And so then, and I apologize, we haven't listened to music in a long time, but I don't know who I am. There is a big difference between saying, I want to be this other person and I want to be like that other person. I want to take some of the good things that I see displayed by this other person and carry those in my own way forward. That's pretty healthy. But wanting to be another person, you know, idolatry, like a hopelessly romanticized, perfect version. You know, a hero should be a judge. A hero should tell you, you could be better. And you're not. So work on that. But if your world is constructed around an idealized, perfect version, and you fall short of that, which you will, then it's easy to have a crisis of identity. Well, if that person isn't as awesome as I thought, what do I do? And so that's what we're seeing here. I don't know who I am. I thought I wanted to be this person, but that the whole thing, the whole idea that I had has melted away, and I see now that that was stupid. You know, that was a dumb idea. It becomes this very negative downward spiral sort of thing. And it doesn't need to be that, but that's what's happening in the song.
Heroes cannot be real. Heroes cannot be
I love the bass in this song. Upside down question mark. That's a really beautiful rhyme. Why is it we're given the role of villain? I really like that. It's a near rhyme, I guess. And okay, so one of the negative consequences that can come from this crisis of identity, I don't know who I am moment, is an immediate need to latch on to someone else. This can be in relationships. Oh my gosh, I thought I was in love. We broke up. What do? I need somebody else. A quick rebound, right? It's not healthy. You need to address what's going on internally. You need to fix you to have a healthy relationship, right? But the thing that can and often does happen is, oh my gosh, that person was terrible. I need to find somebody else to look up to, right? Well, yeah, it's way, way, way harder to just look internally, figure out what you need to do, how to sift through the good and the bad aspects, all that stuff. That's a lot more work, but that's what you need to do. And so this character has not done that, right? I'm your biggest fan. Please take me with you. I need to prop up my reality, my structure of how I understand myself and my world has collapsed. I need to quickly set up another structure. Will you do that? Can I latch on to you? And that's the crisis that we have here. The song becomes extremely happy and childish again, right? Oh, yeah, you, you know.
Why is it that some were given the role of villain? The moment they were released into the system. 1, 2, 3. Stand up, gallop on. Nothing can be done by feeling so sorry for myself.
Yeah.
I am my biggest fan. I am my enemy and my friend. Here I'm gonna prove my version of justice is more just than yours. Alone, remaining on this stage, I am the only one. I am my biggest fan. I am my biggest fan. I am my enemy and my friend.
Beautiful. Okay. Final thoughts on that. So this character, whoever it is, has this sort of flame aspect, right? The hair looks like a fire, this bright red, yellow, orange in the imagery. And so why, right? I am my own enemy and friend, that sort of idea. Talk about Carl Jung all the time on this channel, right? You have positive and negative aspects to yourself. You have to integrate all of those. It's called individuation. It's very important. But to take that, once you see it and understand what you are, who you are, which is a very difficult process in and of itself. But once you have a rough idea who you are and who you aren't, what is a borrowed thing from somewhere else that really isn't you, and you're just trying to show that to people, and what is a thing about yourself that you're uncomfortable with, but you've re-examined and you've integrated that and you understand, that is me. I do feel that way, right? Once you have the contours, the shape of your soul, so to speak, then how do you get better, right? How do you stop moving from idol to idol, hero to hero, externally latching on to an ideal, anything. It could be a political movement. It could be a political figure. It could be a musician. It could be a CEO of a company. Whatever, whoever you're latching onto, actors, actresses, whatever. Whoever you're latching onto, you're moving from one to the other. Whenever you stop doing that, and whenever you say, "This is who I am," then you can start to say, "This is who I need to become to achieve the things that I actually genuinely value," right? So there is a little bit of danger in those last lines that I'm going to prove my justice is more just than yours. Right? Well, how do you know? Honestly, if you're going from idol to idol, how the hell would you know what justice looks like, right? You, I don't know what time scale we're talking about here, but you have to be ultra careful about that. You can't just become a self-righteous, individual that now has everything figured out. The chances that you have everything figured out are extremely low, especially if you've just immediately in the past been dealing with all this hero worship type stuff. And so, but once you have that conception, then you get to choose what needs to be sacrificed. The fire, all that. It is a phoenix kind of orientation, right? So what needs to be consumed and purified in flames because it is an imperfect piece of you? What needs to be dispensed with to give rise to the more beneficial things that should be in your personality? It is possible to change your personality. It's just painful and time consuming and difficult, and it requires a lot of work, right? But that's the call of the song. That's the call of that whole cycle, right? If you don't break that cycle, you just keep going around like a merry-go-round, right? That's what this song is about. So, I mean, I love it. The amount of symbolism and thought-provoking, awesome stuff that are in these songs is unbelievable. So I love it. I hope you enjoyed this reaction. It was a blast. I hope you had a wonderful Christmas. I hope you're able to spend time with your family. All of these things apply to all that too, you know. But if you're thinking, hey, my weird uncle, my weird aunt, my grandma, my grandpa, if you're thinking about people in your life that you just need to stop speaking with, the challenge that I think this song should lay before you, or if you idolize one of those people, whether you find yourself consumed with negative or positive thoughts for a specific person in your circles, first you need to think, hey, is this a reflection of something that's wrong with me? Before you go pointing fingers, right? Um, so that's kind of a dark take, but I hope you had a wonderful holiday. I hope you were able to spend a time with people who mean a lot to you and get a lot out of that. And I hope you're able to rest and recharge, hopefully have some time away from some of your other responsibilities, get everything all fired up and ready for the new year because we're about to be there. And I'll be right there with you doing more music reactions. And we're also launching a brand new podcast, be video game related stuff. And so me and my friend Corey will be doing a new podcast starting sometime early January. We've already got an episode recorded, and we'll be recording another this week. So we're getting ready for that. You didn't ask me to ramble on all this stuff. I'm just these songs, these Mili songs get me very talkative. So yeah, amazing, amazing stuff. Thank you to all of the requesters. Again, that is Amewa, BurntTrash, SumiYokai, and someone who said, just say hi to the Limbus fans. So hi to the Limbus fans. I got you. I love doing these. What an absolutely awesome song. Again. Until next time, my friends, the right man in the wrong place can make all the difference in the world. I will see you soon. Go show me some love on Buy Me a Coffee if you're feeling the Christmas spirit. I'll see you soon. Goodbye.